Hey, everybody, welcome to Shit I Love with Jason Stewart. My guest today is a young newcomer who is already nominated for an Emmy for producing The Bay and also has a recurring role in the series. His name is Jake Hunter. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
It's so weird because we're friends.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here so professional. First thing, you have to be probably my youngest, newest, and most upcoming person I've ever had on any of my interview shows.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm so excited at the possibilities of what's happening with you. Let me tell people about you. So I met Jake around 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I guess at the premiere of a film that we did called Open. Of course, he had a major supporting role, and I had a cameo in it. So we know where everything's going with this already.
No.
Yes, I had a total little cameo in it.
It was a great scene though.
Well, thank you. But it was he had this wonderful supporting role in this film, had done all the film festivals, and had a lot of funny people in it. David Pesner, Drew Droege, Rebecca Cochin, so many, Dante, comedian, so many wonderfully funny people, and was directed by Paul Hart, and produced by Bruce Hart, brothers. And Bruce also starred in the film and is a terrific guy. And I met him at the premiere, and he asked me for my card, and we were talking. And when they were taking 500 million pictures on a red carpet, it was really a red swatch.
Yeah,
that's
more accurate.
And you called me.
Yeah.
And you asked me to start, I guess, mentoring you in a way. And I thought, it's interesting because I never tell people that I mentor people, but it just sort of happened. Sort of very naturalistically, and we started to talk, and you've done so wonderfully well.
Well, thanks. Well, it started with I would come over and help you with self-tapes. But what I was doing when I was doing those self-tapes is I was watching you.
For those at home, self-tapes are when you would tape yourself for an audition. Your agent says, hey, they're doing something in New York, they're doing something in Atlanta or New Orleans, and
exactly.
You put on tapes. And Jake said he wanted to act more, and I said, well, come and help me with self-tapes.
So it helped you by having someone help you.
Definitely helped
me. And it helped me because I'm watching you and I'm getting to act with someone better than me.
Oh,
and that's the way that I got better myself. Is that
not better, more experience? There's a difference.
Well,
it doesn't mean better. And we started working together and working on things, and you, I guess, the series that you directed and acted in. Or you didn't act in it though.
No,
Odd Man Out. You directed it for your friend.
Yeah, for my friend Ronell Parham.
I did a little cameo in that.
Did a cameo on that, which was great, and that just got into a festival in New York.
Which do you remember? New York Film Festival?
It got into a New York Film Festival. I'll have to double check on the.
When is it going to be there? Do you know?
May.
Oh, May.
In New York, so we'll keep you posted with all that.
That's wonderful.
As well, yeah.
Isn't that? And this is something that he just worked on with his friends. Plus, you also did a short film called Face Off.
Oh, I did Face Off and Faith, two short.
But you really, I mean, I forgot. I have an email. I have to go. That I turned it off, and then I turned it on. As everybody knows, I do all this stuff by myself. There's mistakes happening all the time. So you did this short film called Face Off all by yourself.
Yes.
And you collected the actors, and you collected the director, who is a director of a film called Stillwater.
Yeah, Nino Aldi.
Who also directed Stillwater, which is Paul Laya, who is my other friend that I mentored.
Yeah, it's funny that how it connected like that.
Yes, and you invited me to go with you, and Paul did not invite me to come to the screening.
You saw him there.
Yes, and he was like, I meant to get you on the list. It was so funny. And it was great.
Yeah.
And it was great to see Paul in a lead on the big screen.
Yeah, he was great.
And what I would call a star-making role.
Absolutely.
It's a sort of, what I did last summer kind of film. And you had worked with, and Nino directed us in that film.
Yeah.
And I did, again, another cameo.
Yeah, well, that was another awesome scene as well. It's, and that's what I've learned a lot from you.
You play a boxer in this one.
I do play a boxer in this one.
And your mom is played by that soap opera actress.
By Andrea Evans.
Yeah, who's on.
She did all of them. She did Bold and Beautiful, One Life to Live. She's
terrific. She plays your mom in it.
Yeah, she's great. We had Brando Eaton, who was on American Horror Story, Dexter, who was really good. We had
quite a handsome guy, I might say myself.
We had
everybody was very handsome on this. I was like a rugrat in a car.
No.
Yeah.
We had a lot of great people involved. It was a fun project, and we're gonna hit the festival circuit with that this summer. And yeah, and the other one, Faith, that you went to the premiere for, just won New York City International Film Festival.
And this is only in the reason I really wanted to have you on the show the most is because you have this ability to start things on your own, create your own destiny. You came here 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago to Los Angeles from New York,
Mm-hmm.
and you basically were a baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what happened.
Well, that's all I ever wanted to do was play baseball. I never wanted to be an
He was
actor.
actually listening to baseball on his computer as he walked in.
No, I was sitting here as we were waiting to start the interview. I was still totally watching the Mets game. That's all I was invested in. But yeah, it's all I did ever since I was a little kid is play baseball. It's all I ever wanted to do. I played through college. I wasn't good enough to play professional. As like this industry is, it's extremely competitive to be a pro baseball player as well. And I wasn't able to cut it. I did everything I could to make it. I drove like 7 hours to a pro tryout camp. Like I left at like 4 in the morning to get there on time, and I drove to this camp, and I didn't even really get to participate. It was one of those they kind of take your money and like it was
It's crazy.
yeah, and I was after that I was like, man,
Well, your brother's also a pro baseball player,
my
right?
brother's a college baseball player.
College.
He plays at George Mason University.
And is he
now.
better than you?
Yeah, he's definitely better than me. He's got more talent than I. He's got a real shot. So fingers crossed for him.
It's so weird because I don't get the whole sports things. It's everybody gets so excited about somebody able to hit a ball with a stick, and all I think is, which outfits do I like better?
Oh my God.
I do like baseball players the best.
Yeah.
There's something about the baseball that's very
It's America's pastime.
and it's poetic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like dance. You have to be really incredibly coordinated.
Yeah.
And it's also sort of romantic.
Yeah, it is.
And then what made you had done modeling before that.
Yeah.
You're my first model on the show.
I signed with Wilhelmina Models like right after my baseball career had ended, and basically what I've done is I took the work ethic that I had to have with baseball, because I was always worse than a lot of the other guys I was going up against. So I had to work like twice as hard to be competing at that level. So I just took that work ethic, I applied it to everything else that I've done with acting and stuff. But yeah, I was with Wilhelmina.
You're not just an actor. I mean, you're an actor and a producer. You really are.
Thanks.
And being a producer is really is becoming a large part of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wilhelmina got me a few little things. I did a campaign for a clothing company called Hawk & Company, and
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and so I did like 3 or 4 campaigns for that, and I loved shooting with them. They were a lot of fun, and I went to another small little...
And just to let you know, when you see pictures of him, he hasn't eaten anything in around 2 years. So, they're also thin. And him, and my friend Alexander Paul, who I introduced to from Baywatch, the two of them, I think...
Is that what we clicked over?
Oh, yeah, I definitely. Yeah. They clicked because we're going to be doing a series together. And they clicked over, basically not eating.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really interesting, that they both could not eat cake.
Yeah, no,
in a scene, which
we agreed that we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So if Alexander hears this, like, I think...
it was shocking.
Yeah.
So you started modeling, and then what made you want to act? Had you ever acted in anything before in school?
I did a play in 5th grade. That was the only thing I did, and I had one line.
Which was your real line?
To her beck and call. I was supposed to like get down on a knee and like say to her beck and call, and like
to her beck and call.
Yeah, and then to like the day before we were going on for the show, they cut my line out. So I was an extra in my 5th grade. I just got down on the knee and didn't say anything. Like I still did the same thing with my arms, but I didn't say anything.
But it's really interesting because you've had the same experience, because your first acting part when you were in New York was on Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. You had a line, which was cut.
Yeah, it was cut.
And
I was just like, move it, and then I watched it, and it was gone.
Yeah, right.
So you see me, but it's like one of those like split-second things, and I was like telling everyone about it, and then they're like, "Oh, were you there?" I was like, "Crap! From now on, like, I'm not telling anyone about if I'm going on anything, because you just never know."
It's the first. When that happens.
Yeah.
It's you got it very early in your career. The first time that happened to me was in a movie called Kindergarten Cop,
Yeah.
And I'm still in the movie.
Yeah.
I have one line in the movie and one other line off camera. Then you see me quite a bit
Yeah.
in the scene, but I had a much bigger part when we shot. And
Yeah.
Ivan Reitman, the director, at the screening, the cast and crew screening, which was basically like a premiere. It was such a big deal.
Yeah.
I'd never been in anything so big. I was, it was my first big studio picture. And he comes over and he says, "Oh God, you're still in the movie." So I thought, "Oh my God, nothing got cut." And then I saw it, and I have one line, which was the line I came in and dubbed, and another line or so, a larger little thing when I played the hairdresser to the villainess, and I talk about doing her hair, and I'm doing my best, and it was all just improvised, and then everything else got cut.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, and I was sort of shocked. Because,
yeah,
of course,
it is shocking because you have
told
no notice.
everybody.
It's always when you find out right on the spot.
Well, I say, "Welcome to Hollywood."
Yeah.
Well, I want to do this before I forget, because I always seem to forget. This program here, Shed I Love with Jason Stewart, is sponsored by your home away from home in Silver Lake, Casa Crawford, in strolling distance to both Echo Park and Silver Lake. Casa Crawford is the perfect bed and breakfast, a home away from home. It's a bed and breakfast, and it's 3 miles to downtown and to Hollywood. You got a very large bedroom with artwork on the walls. It's gorgeous, and a beautiful view of the Hollywood Hills. So if you want to do this, please call Scott Crawford at 323-663-1664. That's 323-663-1664. Casa Crawford is a great bed and breakfast, Airbnb, and I really suggest that if you're coming to Los Angeles and you want to hang, that's the place to be. All right, so let's talk about what's really happening now. So you've done this, I guess you were on this series called The Bay, and they wanted you to be on the show, and then you started producing with them. How did this all come about? How did you all meet them?
Basically, Andrea, the one who played my mom in Face Off, had been on The Bay, and I just messaged Gregory, and I was like, "Yeah, I got to work with Andrea," and he's like, "Oh, that's so funny. I love Andrea." And then he called me.
Is the producer.
Gregory Martin, who's someone who's helped me tremendously as well. I look up to him a ton. He brought me on. We went to go. Before I knew it, we were traveling. I was going to travel to produce in Europe, the show overseas. We went to Belgium and France and London, and it all happened very fast, and that's kind of how I'm noticing that things are happening. Like, you might feel like nothing is going on, and then like snap of your fingers, like.
So you guys just when he saw you messaged him on Facebook.
I messaged him on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah, and
excuse me, I don't. Yeah, and he responded to you.
Yeah, and then
he thought that you would be good for the show.
Yeah, and he saw my work in Face Off, and I sent him a few other projects that I had worked on, and I had to, he had to see me in person. But
of course,
after I met the team and they've seen my work, they thought it'd be a good fit for me to come on. So. But I also was doing stuff on the producing end, bringing in my connections, going to do producer tasks for them as well. And
so they saw you as somebody that was really beneficial to the project, and helped it move along, because the show is sort of one of the first shows to become. At first, they were on YouTube.
I don't even know where they started.
The first season was on, it? I think, I'm not sure, but and then it moved to Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime. It was one of those first ones that literally was like any web series that any of us, anyone can do, and they turned it into an Emmy-winning production, a big Emmy-winning.
Because they won the second season Best Short Form Series, which is a new category at the Nighttime Emmys.
Yep.
And now they're also nominated for the Daytime Emmys.
Yeah, they're nominated for the Daytime Emmys for Best Digital Series.
So they've moved into the Daytime category, and they're more of the show is now really getting its legs, and it's becoming very, very popular with the soap opera crowd.
It's really, really popular, and they're gaining like international distribution, and people, when we traveled all around the world, there were fans. I was so shocked. Like, I was like, oh my God, there's people like in Belgium that know who the show, because there's people that have come over from like Bold and the Beautiful, like Ron Moss and like all these people.
And Patrika, who we just had on the show, Patrika Darbo, got nominated also for a Daytime Emmy for guest starring on the show, or supporting. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah. She just won an Indie Series Award last night, too.
Oh, so, she did?
Yeah, so congrats.
As she was hosting the show.
As she was hosting. It was so funny. She literally, like, did her opening monologue, left the stage, and then she won and came right back on and was like, I'll take this. So, yeah, congrats to Patrika for that. And, I'm just really excited about the Bay. It's just a really great group of people. And they're just the same way they push me to get better. And they're trying to make great art now. You know what I mean? They're trying to make something really
They're trying
good.
to make it. So, yeah.
That's what they've done. They've risen. That's what you can see is they went from something that anybody can do to something that's extremely difficult to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
With Emmys.
And they're nominated now again. And for the best series and a couple other awards. So the Daytime Emmys are when?
Daytime Emmys are end of April.
Oh, wow.
And
you're going with your mom?
Up. Yeah, my mom's my date for that.
I'm hoping she gets really a terrible cold and not able to go. Like, just so you could bring
That's an awful thing to say.
just
to even joke about.
Just a terrible cold.
Okay.
Or just so I could, because I think I should be going with you, not her. Your mom.
I don't know what to say. You can talk to my mom about that. You can discuss with her.
It's all right. She'll probably complain the whole night like my mother does. Oh, God, she'll think it's supposed to take 2 hours to do, and she'll be there like 6 hours, and she'll go, oh, my God. That's what my mom did when I took her to the Comedy Awards one year. She went, oh, God, this is so long. Isn't it over in 2 hours? No, of course I don't want your mom to get sick.
My mom loves that stuff. She's like, I'm not really a big fan of doing on the publicity side of things, but my mom she's all about the red carpet, like when we go, and she got off, like when we went to the Bay premiere, after she got off the carpet, and she was like, she couldn't sleep, like when she went home. Dead serious. She was just
really?
Like, yeah, she's like, I can't sleep, like this feeling, oh my God, I'm so like charged up right now.
And now she wants to act.
No, she doesn't want to act, but
well, she's cute enough, your mom is adorable.
Thanks.
So you started making your own things, and you also have gotten a couple parts on other things.
Yep.
You got a part on what was this show? Oh, God, I can't remember the name. Where was it? It was right here.
Well, you said Law & Order. Then I've done several indie movies as well. Like I started basically with 3 feature films. One was Killer Waves. It was
oh yeah, you played Dane in that.
Yeah, and that was like a horror movie.
That's for your age. That's the perfect thing.
Totally. Yeah, and it had some good people in it. It had Chris Mulkey, who'd done a lot of work, and one other good actor that is slipping my mind right now. But anyways, that was my first one. I just sent in a self-tape for that, and then I got open from being in the waiting room. And they called me in for that, and
so you were just I want that boy,
there.
And they just said you should come in and read for this.
Yeah, I was there for like a tiny little role. That was it, and then they called me in, and I ended up booking that, and then I got another one called Rebound. That was like right after that. It just like one helped me keep getting the next and the next and the next, and I just kept making my stuff at the same time, and yeah, I did.
And how do you feel about being cast because of your body and because of the way you work? Because you obviously work out.
Yeah.
You're in really good shape, and you've done a lot of modeling, and you were a baseball player. And I know we've talked about this and this idea that you don't want to be just a body; you want to be more. But you also, you want to use what you have.
I want to. It made me work twice as hard, really, because it was really hard for me to be taken seriously right from when I started, and it's everyone that I go up against at these auditions is the same way. So it's like, there's a lot of people that are good looking in LA. That's not something that's hard to find. It's really who is best at the craft that's going to get the job, and little other things that go into it. Obviously, like who you know and how big your following is and everything. But for me, the only thing I can control.
Right, you really created an incredible fan base on social media.
Yeah,
also.
It's helped me by collaborating with other influencers because I know that's another thing that I need to take care of when I go in for these roles, because if I'm reading for a casting director who has no idea who I am, then it's less likely that I'm going to book that, in my opinion, than if I'm going in for someone that's seen me on Instagram or seen my work somewhere or see wherever. As long as they know of you from some way, I feel like that gives me an advantage. So that's why I've been really pushing to collaborate with bigger influencers and people that are bigger, so I can get a trickle from some of their fans, and then from all the indie stuff that I'm getting to do on my own, meeting people that are serious in the industry that way, and different groups of fans and different people, and I'm hoping to just keep pushing that forward and seeing.
But you're
what
also
happens.
not just relying on your looks. You also have been studying with really some great acting coaches, Leslie Kahn.
I studied at Leslie's. I studied at
Ivana Chubbuck's studio.
Yeah, Margie Haber.
So you really went to some of the best in the industries that are here in the city or living in Hollywood and being able to do that. And most people, I found, we've talked about this a lot, that don't do that.
No, absolutely.
What gave you the impetus to want to
well, I did that with baseball. Every day with baseball, I had a hitting instructor, and I had someone that would work with me on my swing all the time, and I'd go
hitting the ball, not hitting each other.
No, that wouldn't make sense. If
Okay. I don't know much about
unless I was boxing or doing Fight Club or something.
Right.
But yeah, he would work with me on my swing, and it's always something that I want to get better, and I want to be the best. And for me, the only way to do that is to learn from people that know the craft so well and have done it successful. And for me, like Al Pacino would sit through class through like The Godfather, and it's like if Al Pacino's sitting through class,
he's shooting The Godfather. Yeah.
No one has any excuse to not be in class and to be studying and to trying to get better. I actually saw Leonardo DiCaprio walking into one of the acting schools that I went to.
Which one?
Margie's.
Margie Haber?
Yeah, like a few years ago, like right when I started, and I'm like,
okay, I'm in the right place.
Yeah, exactly. And these people are trying to get better, and they're already at the top, top of the list of actors here. And there is no plateau of learning and getting better. And so for me, I'm not even close to figuring out what I'm doing yet. I'm just still just trying to be honest with my performances, as honest as possible, and do stuff that I know in my wheelhouse now at this point, until I keep developing and getting better and challenging myself with different roles. And we're going to keep doing that as the years go on.
I think that's incredible, because I find that that's not happening.
Do we go to the lines?
I guess they're going to the phone.
Yeah.
I don't know what the phones, the emails. It's just a very busy studio.
Yeah.
We're not live, so we can't answer phones.
We didn't have Q&A.
We didn't have a Q&A. No, we're not.
But they want the Q&A. It's okay.
It's
we'll
okay.
Do that another day.
Yes, they're already calling.
Yeah.
I think it's really great that you see that in yourself. I mean, with Pacino, you see even now that he goes back to the theater. Right? And he's in his 70s.
Yeah.
And I even heard that Streisand, who, when she did The Guilt Trip, which was after not being in film, I don't have this for sure, but I'd heard through different people that she had gone to acting coaches and was actually coached.
Yeah, why would we stop? I hear all these stories about like these really famous actors, and they would have their acting coaches on set. I mean, you told me about that with Nate Parker, right? He would have
Nate Parker, when he directed the film, so he wanted to have someone there to watch him.
Of course.
And after each scene, the director, his acting coach would either put the
thumbs up
or thumbs down, and then he would do it again. If it wasn't.
I mean, I even think back
that was in Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, which was a great movie as well. But I think back to like Marilyn Monroe and stuff like that, when she'd have Strasberg there, and she, we've discussed her before, and it would take her a lot to get it, but when everyone said when she got it, it was unbelievable, and Strasberg would be there, and she'd be like thumbs up, thumbs down.
It was Anna too. It was his wife, not Anna. Was it Anna Strasberg? His wife at the time was the one that she was really on the set with too.
Yeah, exactly.
His first wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so and for me, that's what I only want to. I only want to perform these as honestly and to the best of my ability, and if I'm not putting in 110% to get to that performance, then there's no point of me even doing it, in my opinion. Like,
you said something to me the other day when we were talking on the phone. You said that, whatever you do, you want to do well, and you
Mhm.
just don't want to act. You also want to produce and create
I
your own
do.
things.
I do. For me, it's fun to create projects and create different kinds of art. And I love being in front of the camera. That's for sure my favorite thing. But producing is also fun for me. Like seeing projects come together, and with Ronell's project with Odd Man Out, getting to tell a story is also really interesting for me.
It's a web
So
series, yeah.
yeah, it's
How
a
many
web
episodes?
series. There is 6 episodes.
6 episodes.
So far, and we go into season 2 for that.
And they're all available now
on YouTube.
On YouTube.
And we go into season 2 for that in June. So, and then The Bay, season 4 in July, and then I'm supposed to be shooting a baseball movie right after that in the fall.
This is the one that you wrote.
Yeah, that I wrote a full-length feature, which is cool, and that one's going to be, I'm really excited about that one. Gregory's directing that one. Gregory Martin's directing that one as well.
From the Bay.
From the Bay, and Christos Andrews, who's like my brother, who's the lead of the Bay, is also in that one as well, acting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what does it feel like to be going to the Emmys after only being in town 2 or 3 years? I mean, doesn't that seem just sort of crazy?
It is crazy. But to me, that stuff isn't as fun for me. So I just want to like figure out how to get my projects done. And, I've been to enough of these awards now to where I get kind of, the point, and I get kind of like what it's like. I mean, the Emmys are special.
It's going to be a lot different than the Indie Series Awards.
That's true. But it's, I don't know. Just
so both you and Alexandra also won an Indie Series Award for Mentor for Best Supporting Actress.
Awesome.
For our
That's right, she did, yeah.
Yes, and just to let folks know, I'm going to say this again, that she had the award, she put it in a landfill because she didn't want to waste things for the environment.
Nice job.
Yeah, I basically wanted to kill her.
Wow.
Why couldn't you give me the award? I could have kept it in my house. I directed it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but but the Emmys are going to be different than any other thing you've ever gone to. It's pretty
I don't even
big.
know what to expect with it. I just know that I want.
It's going to be a long because there's a lot of categories.
Yeah, and I just know that I want to.
So bring a power bar.
Oh, good. Yeah, I will. I'll bring a protein bar or something. But yeah, I just want to. I'm just happy to be a part of like the Bay more than anything. It's not about accolades. That's something that even with baseball, like when you get awards, MVP, that type of stuff, Player of the Week, all this stuff that they had in college, I never cared about, and I was brought up to not worry about that stuff. So to me, I just want to take care of business and get these projects done, and being able to keep acting and producing and whatever comes next on the bigger stages that come about. I want to get on the biggest stage possible, and that's my goal, and that's where I'm striving to get to.
See, for me, I want to do the best work I can do. And work with the most talented people. That's what's really fun, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing. It's hard. It's hard to find that. So you have to create your own stuff.
Exactly.
And you inspire me. Just the idea that you want to do that so much, because
Thank you.
So many people don't. They just want to be famous.
Yeah, and that's where you're never going to be successful, in my opinion.
And it's fun to win awards. I mean, believe me, it is. And it does mean, when you win an award, it means lots of publicity, and other people will see your name and want to hire you again.
That's good.
So that's the good part. That's the good part.
I agree. Yeah, so just a shout out to Gregory and the rest of the Bay cast for winning Best Ensemble last night at the Indie Series Awards. So congrats to them for that.
Now, you want to tell us anything about your role, or is it sort of secret?
It may have to do with what I've done my whole life, and I can't say anything else really.
Oh, well, can I say it?
If you want.
It's going to be about baseball.
All right, then we'll leave it at that.
Yes, because your character who's been in it, the bartender who sort of talked to everybody.
I don't know where it's going. I can't give.
Well, that's the way soaps are. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to have to watch the Bay.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to see what the whole deal is on that.
Yeah.
Well, this is exciting. And if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
On Instagram, I would say.
And it's Jake Hunter.
It's Jake_Hunter4 is my handle.
And what's the 4 for?
It's my favorite number.
Oh.
I always wore that.
That's your basebalt number.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Of course. What was I thinking?
Yes,
okay. And if you want to get a hold of him, you just go to jasonstuart.com, Stuart. Send me an email, and I will connect you up with Jake. And I got to thank you for being on the show. I'm so
Thanks for
proud
having
of
me.
you, and
Thank you, buddy.
and I'm hoping that you guys win the Emmy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So you'll have a producing Emmy in your home as you walk in every day.
Yeah,
Patricia says for her Emmy, she just looks at it every time she walks out the door. She leaves it by the door.
that's cool.
It keeps her inspired to do more.
She's great. Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for listening, and until next time, take care.